Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Matthew Pillmore. This is VIP Financial Ed, and you're here to learn some of the best ways to revolutionize how you're banking and borrowing. And it really all boils down to the 3 C's that we talk about regularly here on the channel. That's your credit, access to capital, and growth of your cash flow. And ideally, what we're doing here will lead to exponential development of leftover funds at the end of each month, which then in turn leads to freedom. So you have the freedom to choose how you live your life. It's an extraordinary roadmap, and frankly, it's one that has completely transformed my entire future. So I hope that you are somebody that can benefit equally. Now, today I want to kind of go back to a video that we launched last week, and I briefly mentioned Jordan B Peterson, and I'm actually reading his book, 12 Steps to Life right now. But I've also been getting carried away with a lot of different rabbit trails of different interviews that he's done. Very interesting guy, extremely intelligent, probably a little crazy. I don't agree with everything he says or does. Frankly, I don't agree with everything anyone says or does. So I think it's incredibly important to become objective and stay intuitive enough to understand where things apply to your unique circumstances. And today we live in an age where it's so easy to be polar and you're either black or white, and that's not how I think. So in offering you guys some things that I've extracted from what I learn elsewhere, my hope is that you can take with that enough information to at least do more research on your own. So today I want to share the quote I meant to offer you last week, and then I ended up getting carried away in my little teenage squirrel mind and got sidetracked. So that quote is, expect equality when it comes to opportunity, but don't expect equality when it comes to the results of the outcome. And man, did that hit home for me. I'm always looking for information that applies to the subjects that we teach here on this channel. And the relationship I see from that quote and what we talk about is the idea that we're all really very much on an equal playing field when it comes to our financial starting points. You know, it's not until the age of about 18 years old where we're even taken seriously by lenders. So being able to establish a credit history and an actual credit score is a very important part of building wealth. With that in mind, I see us not being judged by the color of our skin or our race or background, by our political beliefs or by our religions. When it comes to our money is truly based on our general financial credibility. And that's why everything on this channel is so incredibly important, because we do have the same starting point opportunities, and it's what we do with that that determines how easily or difficult things can happen moving ahead. And credit credibility is where we then end up in the second phase of what we teach, which is access of these spectacular special types of credit accounts. We call them debt weapons. We talk all about them on this channel. And then how we then are able to put both our debt weapons and pre-existing and future cash flow to work in order to grow our assets far more quickly, along with paying off our debts in a fraction of the time. So amazing results that can be expected when applying these various techniques. And that's again why we have all the same opportunities, but why the outcome will vary. It's because it's our behavior that's different. The math is always the same. So the constant of this equation and conversation will always be the arithmetic. That's what I've always loved about it, is that we don't have to argue about the sum of 2 and 2 being 4, but what we do have to argue about is how we're actually going to apply ourselves in order to execute the equations necessary to get that sum of 4. So keep that in mind as far as the quote. Another piece of Jordan B Peterson's philosophies that I think relate really well to what we're talking about regularly on this channel is his concept of keeping your room clean. And you know, it's been considered controversial, mostly for the reasons that it's somewhat oversimplified. A lot of people who are disputing his ideas are oftentimes making the argument that there are so many bigger problems in the world than whether or not your room is clean. And Jordan's response has always been consistent, that it's a metaphor. If you can't even keep your own house in order, why in the world are you out there trying to be an activist for change on a much bigger scale? Stop complaining about the national economy and what your government is or isn't doing if you're not even able to keep your own social household economics in order. You do have control over your own home. You have very little, if any, control at all over the national, much less global economic future, which means that if you put yourself in the strongest position possible, you can actually be on the winning side of even what many people might consider to be a down situation or a bear market. In the next downturn, you're either going to be cleaning up or you're going to be one of the so-called victims. If you position yourself correctly, you'll have no right to complain right? You can actually be the one that's taking advantage of all of the various opportunities. And so that is really where keeping your house in order makes sense. If you are a scatterbrained mess when it comes to your home, chances are you're a scatterbrained mess when it comes to your money. Start by cleaning up what's around you. So if you want to maximize your productivity, both professionally and personally, Jordan B Peterson's recommendation is to just get your simple space in order, get your house in order, get your room in order, get your office in order. These are very, very quick, easy exercises. It may take you 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, maybe 5 hours maximum. You spend half a day cleaning your entire space. And over time, you can get into the habit of starting to delegate that. So it's no less than once every 2 to 3 weeks that we'll have somebody come in and help with that process for us. We hire somebody to come and clean, and we were able to find somebody that's an absolute professional for $15 an hour. So it spares me the time, but it also gives me the opportunity to have such a clear-minded work area that everything else is optimized from there. So I really, really love that piece of advice from Jordan. Now, I want to read you guys a comment from one of our subscribers, and this is actually this week's winner of the $25 Amazon gift card. So happy to see this. Raver Magic. Raver, you've been a long-term participant and cash flower on this channel, and I just want to share your story that you were generous enough to provide. Matt, I've learned so much from this channel. Where do I begin? I would say building my base, starting with my cash flow. It was at 200. Because I wasn't doing paycheck parking, I was paying my bills like everyone else does. So I got serious. I took my cable, electric, water, and all my other credit card payments and my whole life insurance payment, and I put them on one card. I started the paycheck parking process. My cash flow went from $200 to $510. LOL, I really had to double check to make sure I wasn't missing something or screwing myself. Guys, that's more than doubling. It's a 150% increase from where he was starting. I then lowered my overall utilization from 98% on my cards to just 40%. Only started doing this last month with utilization, and my score jumped an average of 40 points. Which then allowed me to get another line of credit, which is higher than current lines, and build my core base of cards. Once I pay off the remaining debt, I should be over 750 another 30, 60 days. Man, it feels good having a plan. It also feels good knowing the plan works. Even if I don't win a gift card or the trip to Denver, you've totally changed the way I look at money and credit. I'll be in a house next year, and it's gonna be crazy to know it will be paid off in 5 to 6 years because I'm gonna turn the banks against themselves. Man, you have no idea how rewarding it is to hear that. Sorry if I'm pounding my mic here, but truly it gets to me because the impact that people are getting from practicing what we've been benefiting from for so many years is the most rewarding aspect of learning these techniques. It's not been the type of money we've been able to generate and keep, the type of cash flow we're making. We're making well over 6 figures every single month by practicing these techniques ourselves. We've showed that on other videos, including one of how to double your business by using debt weapons. So be sure to check out that video on this channel. And I think it all ties back into getting your house in order. It ties into understanding opportunity is there for all of us. It ties into understanding that we are the reason it will or won't succeed. So I want this to be a catalyst or a turning point in your life where you're able to come and visit these videos on this channel and start realizing that what you had before isn't necessarily what you have to continue to have. If you're happy with where you are, that's great. Then we don't have to have a conversation about doing things a better way. If you're displeased about the place you're in, if your finances aren't exactly what you want, if you don't have complete freedom of choice, if you can't be let go from your position tomorrow and be okay, if you can't choose to go on vacation next week out of the blue, then frankly, I would argue you deserve so much more. And that's what I hope you get from this channel. Stay tuned for all the videos. Make sure you plug in to all the previous videos in order to become alerted and a cash flower to this channel. Make sure you slam that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Today, we're giving away a $25 gift card to Raver Magic. Next week, it could be you. We're giving away a $25 gift card every single week here on this channel. And we're doing that all the way up until October. We're also giving away 1 2-hour Skype phone coaching session with me. That's a $2,500 value. And that winner will be selected here in the next 7 to 10 days. We look forward to also flying out one lucky couple, whether it's you and your significant other, whether it's you and your best friend, whether it's you and your business partner, We want to give you a round trip to Denver and put you up for 2 nights and give you another one-on-one coaching session. So we're going to select the winner from one of those 5 2-hour Skype coaching session winners in October, and I cannot tell you how excited I am for that. So in order to be eligible, again, you've got to be a subscriber to the channel, and make sure you put your comments below. Have you learned anything from Jordan B Peterson? Have you seen his trainings? Do you love him? Do you hate him? Curious to know what your thoughts are. I know he's on the top of many people's tongues right now, and he's kind of everywhere, so be sure to check it out. I think his philosophies are at least worth a second opinion in your review. You deserve to review him, and he is a big believer in your right to speech. So your freedom of speech is something I want to hear from down below as well. Now, if this turns political, if it turns hateful, if there is any inappropriateness, we will delete your comment. So just be very aware of that, and we do look forward to giving you your own $25 gift card next week. Put your comment below. Until we see you on the next video, make it a great day today, and take care.